From the Ohio AgDat Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution, I'm Joel Norwood with today's Ag News. The U.S. beef cow inventory has fallen to its lowest level in more than 60 years, and no significant changes on the horizon that would reverse the trend, meaning the U.S. beef cow herd could take quite a while to be rebuilding from this historic low. New research from CoBank's Knowledge Exchange says current marketing conditions are incentivizing cow-calf producers to sell heifer calves rather than retain them for future breeding purposes. And who could blame them with the price of calves right now? It is substantial. And from a financial standpoint, they point out that the benefit of selling calves for immediate gain far outweigh the risks of holding on to them for breeding purposes down the road. Ultimately, calf prices will be the determining factor when it comes to whether the U.S. beef cow herd retracts further or begins to grow. And an interesting time on the livestock as we stay there, moving from beef over to the dairy side, as a couple of contrasts are being pointed out in the USDA August Dairy Outlook. Rod Bain reports.
Lower production, higher prices. The summary of USDA's dairy forecast for August. This is World Agricultural Outlook Board Chair Mark Jekanowski, starting with milk production.
We reduced our production forecast for both 2024 and 2025. We still expect year-over-year growth, so 2025 production will exceed this year's production by about 1.8 billion pounds.
Tighter cow inventories, restraints on some heifer supplies, and reduction of milk per cow due to heat stress are behind month-over-month reductions in both years.
Prices this month higher for the most part. A little bit of a weakness in butter prices recently for this year, so we reduced our butter price forecast by a penny a pound.
Increases in class prices led to higher all milk prices for both years, up a nickel at $22.30 a pound this year, up a quarter at $22.75 a pound for 2025. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
Thanks, Rod. And following along with more numbers from USDA this week, let's take a look at crop progress. Thanks to the good folks at AgriSpray Drones, USDA's National Ag Statistics Service Ohio Field Office, reporting that really the main theme is dry conditions continued as crop progress continues, of course. Topsoil moisture conditions rated 19% very short, 38% short, 41% adequate, and 2% surplus. 59% of Ohio rated as abnormally dry or worse. Now, good news is that's down 8 percentage points from the week before. Bad news is the severe drought areas increased 2 points from the last report. 31% of corn in the dented stage across the Buckeye State. That's up from the 15% 5-year average. 5% of corn across the state noted as mature. 1% of corn also harvested for silage already. 92% of soybeans setting pods, well ahead of the 77% 5-year average, and 1% of soybeans dropping leaves. And 76% of alfalfa hay third cutting complete, and even a percentage point noted for alfalfa hay fourth cutting going on out there. Again, thanks to AgriSpray Drones for sponsoring that content. It's online at ohioagdat.com. Ohio AgDat staying busy on the road this week with several events to see us at. Come on out and stop by. We'll be at the Allen County Fair coming up tomorrow. Thanks to Nature's, they're proud to support their community. Be sure to stop out at the Allen County Fair. Runs through August 24th. Also, we'll be at Holt House Ag Solutions, hosting an open house on August 23rd in Sydney to talk about their TYM tractors and other products and services they offer. For more information, call Greg, 937-538-8594. That's for Holt House Ag Solutions, their open house here on the 23rd. In other farm news, the price of farmland. It's one of the chief concerns, one of the main issues in agriculture today. And USDA Chief Economist Seth Meyer tells us farmland values continue to rise year over year, but he also questions land value strength amid changing economic conditions on the farm.
The last 3 years, maybe even 4 years, we've seen pretty strong land price increase on the order of 5% this year in terms of land value.
Or about $200 an acre, rising to $4 an average for crop and pasture land. Overall, $5,570 an acre just for cropland on average. Rental rates also up.
When you look at the average rental rate for cropland, you get $160 an acre. That's up $5 an acre from the prior year. But here, too, that's a slowdown.
Still strong for this marketing year, but less so for This next one, 24 to 25. As crop prices fall, things are really going to get tight. Now, a key point to consider, since land is a major point of collateral for many farms, land value increases or decreases can affect access to credit. Even more important in a time of shrinking margins and higher reliance on the banks. Though the American Bankers Association warned recently, refinancing debt in a time of shrinking margins could make farm borrowing even more risky. Of course, all of this impacted by the price of commodities. And let's take a look at those here after Tuesday's trade in Chicago. September corn closed 3 cents down on the day to $3.75 per bushel. December new crop corn down 2 1/4 to $3.98. September soybeans up a penny to $9.57 1/4. New crop soybeans decided to stay put. No change at $9.76 per bushel. July 2025 wheat contracts up 3 cents to $5.92 1/2. This market update brought to you by Seed Consultants, simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. August live cattle down $1.78 to $181.03 as September feeder cattle down $4.78 to a price of $234.50 per hundredweight. October lean hogs $76.40 down 40 cents, and Class 3 milk up by about 20 cents across the board. This is the Ohio Ag Dat. I'm Joel Norwood. Thanks for tuning in.